some joy and give you some peace. I don't know, after a hard day of work, managing the kids, all of that stuff, you may be on your drive home and not seeing this till later, but I just wanted to come on and share with you a project that I'm working on. So I am doing a project with wood and using some Prismacolor pencils, and I also have some watercolors and things like that. So I thought I would go ahead and come online and share with you some cool little tips, okay? So I'm going to change the camera so that way you can look at what I'm doing. All right, this is a piece of wood that goes out to Barn Quilt Club. My Barn Quilt Club members get something in the mail from me every month. They get a piece of wood and they also get a happy surprise. And we do projects together and I teach them how to use different types of paints, pens, inks, pencils, and so forth to bring their barn quilts to life. Mostly barn quilts are geometric in pattern, but I happened to fall in love with this pattern and I showed it to a few of the folks in the Barn Quilt Club and they were like, please mail it to me. So this was their March mailing. So it's not up on gofindyourhappy.com yet, but anyways, just to get down to the nitty gritty. And if you want to sign up for that, you know, you could just go to barnquiltclub.com. But let's get down to teaching here. So whenever I am working in different things, I will kind of get an idea. I'll look at it and say, okay, what do I want to have happen? So I decided in this particular piece that I wanted to do acrylic as a really nice soft background. I could have done pencil, but I actually wanted to do mixed media on this particular piece. So mixed media is blending more than two types of mediums into your work, okay? So this is Cool Blue from Hobby Lobby, Anita's paint, and then this is Sunshine Yellow. And then I decided, okay, that's the only acrylic paint that I want to use right now at this given time. So now I'm going to show you the Prismacolor pencils. Now you may have other pencils and it's totally fine. Prismacolor is definitely a higher grade, a more professional grade. But regardless of whatever pencils that you use, the first thing that I would recommend is if you're going to paint something in one color theme, like green, okay, go ahead and pull out your recipe, I guess, or, you know, collage, I don't know, smattering of your greens, okay? So what I did is I pulled a spring green, a true green, a grass green, a parrot green, which has a little bit more of the aqua, and an apple green, okay? And this is a chartreuse green. So why do I do that? Because I wanted to blend the colors. And the thing about Prismacolor is that they are very, very soft lead, so they can break very easily. But the benefit of being soft is that they don't have a lot of wax buildup. And so what you can do is you can shade and you can really almost create your own color. It's pretty amazing what you can do with these pencils. And I will tell you, I had to learn from trial and error. I mean, I started with a first pack of pencils. Then I went to a Hobby Lobby brand of pencils, which I still like, Fine Touch. They are a good brand of pencils. But then I decided to ask for my anniversary gift some Prismacolor pencils, and my husband got them for me, and oh my gosh, I was like, I'm in love. So that's the scoop on that. Here's the secret though to using pencils, not in a, I'm saying this, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but not in a childlike way. I didn't know what I didn't know. I always thought, oh, coloring is a child thing. No, it's not. I mean, look at anime, look at Walt Disney, look at, you know, all the films that are done animated, and that is done in a lot of sketching and so forth before they even go to the computer nowadays. So what you want to do is you want to go lightly first, very almost like a feather. Go very lightly over it. You may say, well, that's just really, really light, Trisha. You know, is that color even going to make an impact or be vibrant? The answer is yes. So what you want to do is you want to go like a feather-like over it. through these areas, okay? So I'm going to actually go into, because this is a dark green, and I had already started layering because I taught a class over at Barn Quilt Club on a little bit more stuff. And I'm teaching them some techniques on, we're going to do decoupage and mixed media embellishments inside of this painting. But what I'm doing is I'm going in small areas. See, what happens is sometimes we get so caught up that we go, oh, let me do streaks like this, right? And then we wonder, why doesn't my painting look so good, right? The secret is what they call like burnishing, where you go in small areas like this. That gives it a nice, rich color and coverage, okay? So that's how you use a pencil, is you want to build it up over time. So I have this dark, and then I love this spring green. Just is really almost like, you know, when a flower comes out and right out of the ground and how bursting of green it is. So I love that spring green. So I'm pulling this in and I'm layering it. So I'm just going lightly over that as well. And I'm just going in my small circles. And I intentionally may not be covering every single little hole in between the lines. You don't have to. It's so funny how we got taught that, like, you know, and we even have that whole thing about, you know, color outside the lines in life. And, you know, oh, you colored in the lines. You did such a good job, you know. But we don't have to go really hard on in between all the lines, because what I'm wanting to do is like recipe, just like when we have an apple pie, you know, we put the cinnamon in, we have the sugar in, you know, we have all of these, you know, maybe a little bit of vanilla flavoring. So we're mixing and blending together these colors to give the leaf a more realistic feel. So this is true green. So I'm just going into some of these little holes and I'm filling them in. I'm filling this color in some of the little hole areas. Isn't that cool? Now, for those of y'all who've seen the stained glass series on Go Find Your Happy or barnquiltsusa.com, we could actually make these lines like the white, so it would look like a stained glass window. I just decided, why don't we do a really fun, kind of a wonky, whimsical feel. This is going to go in my morning room where I have a big picture window that overlooks the birds in the morning. I read my Bible there and a journal. So I'm going to actually hang this on my wall and enjoy it. So this is not going to go outside. A lot of times we think about, you know, barn quilt designs or those patterns being always displayed outside. And the case is absolutely not. You know, you have a wonderful opportunity of displaying something in a bedroom, and you might even have a quilt top that matches it to pull it all together. So I'm doing that background there. So that's really pretty. I am going to go a little bit darker. And now what's really cool is I can have a choice. I could actually go in the middle of these with pencil, or I could actually change it up and do a gel pen if I wanted to. Or let's see what I feel like. Let's do this little area here. Now, as you watch this, you'll see that when I'm covering this, that it looks like it's not covering all the wood because the wood has grain in it, right? So this is where a colorless pencil comes in. It is actually built with no color, but like a pencil. And what it does is it helps blend the color into the crevices. And if you're using multiple colors, it will help blend the colors together. Sometimes folks won't use this, the colorless pencil. They'll use like a white, but a white can also lighten it up and just change the whole dynamic of it. So I'm liking that, but you know, I'm not going to use the same green over here because I want to have dimension just like a flower leaf would have dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and this is true green. And that's a little, I'm not really a fan of it right now. So I'm just going lightly in that area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here with just going around it. See how I'm not totally going over the whole area? I'm like filling in a little bit of the gaps. You see that? See how I'm filling in a little bit of the gaps? And then, just like a real flower would, sometimes it has a little bit of a sunburn to it or whatever, you know. So I'm going to actually go over very, very lightly and just put a little bit of a feeling of a brown. That way, the leaf starts looking realistic. And of course, we don't have to have it totally looking realistic because this is a work of art where it has like some fun, funky lines to it. And I'm really excited about that because I'm going to have some little words that go in that may be a quote or something that I decoupage over these leaves. So this is the colorless pencil, and I'm just going over it. And what that does is that is blended the brown with the green. If you have any questions, you just let me know as I'm taking you through this. Okay, so this is apple green. I'm going to go down here on the apple green. And I'd like to have a little bit more definition between the stem and that start of the leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over on this stem part, and I'm going to just go over again this dark green to give it dimension. Just like that. There we go. Oh yeah, really pretty. And that's the secret, is not going over the whole line in one hard swoop. It's just building it over time. In fact, here on this little line, I'm going to go a little bit harder on the pressure to give a shadowing. Oh yeah, look how pretty that is. See, that's what you can do with pencils that would be harder to do possibly with another medium. Of course, watercolors and acrylics you can, but this just gives it a different, just a whole different presentation, if you will. So I'm going up and down. Notice I'm doing that because I'm wanting it to have that feeling that it's grass coming out of the window. I'm going to purposely do the frame so it feels like it's 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to record because I want you to see how much impact shadowing can do on your work of art. In fact, I'm pretty excited about wanting to show that to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open my pencil box, okay? And because I want the frame to be like a brown, I am going to pull out my browns. So this is a dark umber. This is a sienna brown. This is a, and you're just watch what happens. It's pretty cool. Tuscan red. I think I might pull that in. Sepia. And I'm going to pull in a gray just if I want to kind of calm down a color a little bit. Okay, so watch this. So to give a 3D look around this picture frame, so that way it looks like, oh, we're looking at the window. What we're going to do is I'm going to take it darker to lighter, I think. I've been doing art for so long, sometimes it just instinctually starts going, and we'll see what, but I'm pretty sure. So what I'm going to do, I'm using dark umber here, and notice that I'm doing very small strokes. Because I want it to have a 3D feel all the way up. And if you want to be a part of Barn Quilt Club, I've got a friends and family discount where you get free shipping. It's pretty awesome. We've got the whole year lined up. It's so cool. Teach you a lot of fun stuff. More than just painting a project. All right, so I'm going down that line and I'm just kind of making that dark. But what now I'm going to do is I want to bring that color out a little bit. So I'm just going to compare, and I'm going to go ahead and do another row. But I'm going very light. Otherwise, it will be overbearing on the first one. And I'm not sure if I really like this burnt ochre to be completely direct. Not sure if I like it much at all yet. So I'm just going to go gently down. I'm doing more strokes. I'm doing more of like brushwork here. I'm not doing the little circles of burnishing a dark feel. I'm going to come back over here on sienna. Let's see. I'm going to take the sienna brown over the dark umber. And then you're going to watch me use the blending pencil. So we're creating some shadowing here. So I'm intentionally bringing this down around here. So that way my eye can start seeing, oh, that's a window. Cool. And now I'm going back over it one more time. So it doesn't just look like a line. And I'm feathering it out. Just feathering it out over. No wonder I had an MRI last week. I will tell you that my shoulder's feeling a lot better. So I think I will be staying on chiropractic and physical therapy, so that way I'm healthier. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this colorless pencil And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this colorless pencil into the wood grain. So that way those colors blend together intentionally. But because I put the darker color right up against that windowsill, if you will, and that's the thing about doing an art project or a craft project. Isn't it true? It always looks worse before it looks better. So right there, I'm like, am I teaching it very good right now? I don't know. Am I? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over. Because I want this windowsill to look like it's aged wood. So that's why I'm intentionally just feathering it and mixing the colors together. You go ahead and go over top of this window right here. Just see how that feels. Yeah, so now we're starting to see the inset of the 3D feel, see? So that's how we just keep working it. Now this is a light umber, so I really like that. I'm going to go ahead. So again, what I would do is pull out, like when you're going to work in browns, pull out all of your browns out of your pencil case right there, okay? Just pick them all out. Doesn't mean that you have to use them, but then you don't have to stop your momentum of what you're doing, okay? And it allows you to play and just kind of lose yourself in the process. And, you know, the purpose of doing this is not like, oh, my goodness sakes, I have to be perfect. It's allowing you to say, you know what, I'm going to make my own brown. Trisha showed me that cool effect. I'm just going to play. The thing is if you don't like it, you can always acrylic paint over it. You know, you don't have to keep it. You can put a marker over it. You can keep coloring it. So now I'm just doing this very almost sloppy, like a kid would do, because I don't want it to be overbearing. I'm just pulling the aged wood feel out. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gray. Instead of using white, which I do have a white pencil, I think. Yep. I can use white or I can use gray. So sometimes, you know, like farmhouse, you'll see that distressed look, that shabby chic, if you will. Let me know where you're listening from. I'd love to know. So I can do this gray here and kind of bring in that farmhouse feel. So it feels like a windowsill. Kind of. But I'm not going to do a lot of white. Even down there, that white is just a little too much for me. But what I'll do is I'll go back over it with a brown. What do you think of the bird? Do you like it? And what kind of wood designs would you like to paint more if I were to make some templates for you of designs on wood? What would you like to try? Would you like to try animals? Would you like to try more shapes? You know, would you like to learn more pencil work? Would you like to do more mixed media work? What would you like? Okay, so that's cool. So now I'm just going back over with this light umber. And so I don't have a harsh line between like extreme to not a line. I'm going to start just doing now the little burnishing there. So it just kind of fades from one line to the other. Oh yeah, I'm loving that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm going at an angle. So that way I'm not going up and down like a line. I'm going more with how wood would be on a windowsill. Let me type in this so you'll have it to write down. Okay. All right. So there we go. But I'm wanting this frame to be like its own frame, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a glue stick. I'm going to do a glue gun, and we're going to have farmhouse beads that hang on here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm doing the wood, but I'm incorporating the frame in one piece. So it's going to feel really professional, polished. Go at an angle here. When you do the corners, my recommendation is go out to the corners like this. Oh, sorry. Go out to the corners like this. Because what that does is that will give the appearance of like it's wood that's been framed together, okay? Yeah, that's looking nice. Isn't that looking good? So sometimes it takes a little bit to find your mojo. Like I'm using this light umber more than I'm using some of the other colors. So, but I'm really, really liking it. It feels really good. So I'm going to go back to this dark umber, and I'm just going to rotate between the dark umber and the light umber. Oh yeah, look how pretty that is. Look. Bring that down so it feels like it's a wood frame. Just bringing that across. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead over on this corner and go ahead and do that triangle there, or the edge there like the frame. And now I'm going to go back with the light umber. This is why I love Prismacolor pencils, because they don't get a lot of wax buildup when you want to play with a bunch of different colors. It just gives you, I've seen like artists that blow my mind that do like golden retriever, and they'll mix like all these different yellows to make their own colors and the shadows of the fur of the golden. And I'm just like blown away. So I feel like I'm a constant student of life myself, learning, you know, the different techniques. So, but I don't want it all perfect through here because I want it aged wood, right? But I do want it to look like it's going with the grain, so not circles. In fact, I may just do some streaks like this. Make it feel like wood. I'm going to bring in this French gray, just like if wood was aged. I'm just going across that. Oh yeah, oh my goodness sakes, I love it. Woohoo. And I'm gonna go and just kind of blend that in with the dark edges. We live in a log cabin, so I'm imagining my old wood, how it, like when it gets into the darker area, it has a different color versus out. See that? See how that's looking like its own picture frame? It's pretty cool, isn't it? So I'm going to pull this a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is take a little break from the brown, and I'm going to go back into the greens, because now I have a little bit more context of, you know, am I happy with this, you know, leaf, or do I want to do something a little bit more different with it? And I'm going to just play around. Ah, almost missed that. This is a dark green. So let's play with this dark green and kind of just bring it over top in some of the areas where the wood is showing in the leaf. So look at that. See how it has the imperfections? So like when they come to your house and they're looking at your art, and they'll see the different, I'm creating the veins in the leaf itself. So that way it doesn't look like it's just been filled in. I mean, we want the flower to feel like it's alive, right? So I'm just doing little places of this dark green in the wood. I mean, in the wood, but in the leaf itself. Now, if I want to do some shadowing, the same thing can happen. What I can do is I can go over this line, and I can go and burnish it like darker here. Just give it a little bit of a different texture. Just because the wood line there doesn't mean that I'm supposed to stay in the line. Again, we're playing with concept. I'm going to come over here with the colorless pencil, and I'm going to just blend these together so it doesn't look like it's out of the line. It's more of a color melding. I'm going to go with the wood grain here. Oh my goodness, love it. Love it. Can you tell I get a little happy when I do my art stuff? So if I get on your nerves, I'm sorry. But I don't know. It releases endorphins in me, I think. Hopefully it does for you too. Yeah, I really, really like that. Now I'm going to take this apple green up to where I did that dark. And I'm going to actually go over top of it, but then bring it out over the wood. And then go really light up on this top. There's no right or wrong. The more you play with it, the more fun you're going to have. And I'm telling you, oh my gosh. So what I love about these are 8x8 sizes, right? And then I have like ornaments that are 4x4 sizes that are like these sizes, right? All right. So when we go on car trips, I literally have my lap desk and I color in, and I love it because I don't have the mess of the acrylics and all of that. And I have, so my sweet hubby, look at this box. My hubby made me this box. Is that like so sweet? And so I carry my pencils with me. Thank you for saying that the colors and shading is amazing. Who is that? It just says Facebook user, so I would just love to know who that was that said that. Oh, you're signing off. Okay. But yeah, continue to watch later. So now I'm going to go over this dark. I decided to give like a free lesson tonight so you guys can learn. I don't do a lot of these. This would be an example more of a paid class, or if you're in the club. But it's hard to know until you kind of become a part of something to know what's in, what you get out of it, and how that blends in. Bring that up. I have this little bit of shading right here. And then I'm going to go over and I'm going to try this light green right here and just see how that feels. I don't know. Oh, okay. I am loving that. You know why? Because we're thinking of, I just stumbled on it, but the sun is shining down on the leaf. So we do actually want to introduce like this chartreuse. It's like a green that's mixed with a yellow. So the sun is giving some luminescence on that leaf just naturally. But where these two colors are together, I'm going to actually do a little bit of like the veins very lightly up. So it doesn't look like it's like just one color ending and another color starting. Okay, so I just did the little lines up. Oh my goodness sakes. So pretty, y'all. And I don't know if you have the coloring book, but I have to show you why I'm showing this coloring book to you. This is the mixed media coloring book of different things. But like you see all these words, okay? So I can cut out these words and I could make a statement in there, which I probably am. I don't know what I'm gonna. I have been made for a purpose. I was journaling about that today. I am not too old to follow my dream. So I could actually put those, decoupage that later. So we'll have to do another session on that. So exciting. Oh, I am loving that. See, and here's the thing. If you wouldn't have pulled out all the greens together, you would have missed the opportunity of maybe what that would look like. I almost didn't put that down, but I really love it. It actually makes it feel like it's coming to life. Here we go. I'm going to go up on this one a little bit more with the veins. Just kind of a little wisp. Go back with French gray here. There's no right or wrong. Just make it your own and just have fun. And you may think, wow, Trisha, this takes a long time. You've been going at it and look what, but I think that's what I love about it. Sometimes you're in a club or you get something and, you knock the project out in an hour and you're like, man, that I want to teach you on how you can make something so cool and unique that it's something that it's all your own. And I've just been the coach to help you tap into it and pull it out of you. I'm going to do a couple little flecks of brown in the leaf. And by the way, this is the first time me doing this design that I created as far as, with pencils. So it's really fun for me too. So I'm blessed and grateful that you're able to be along with me during this. And you'll be able to watch this again and while you're maybe laying in bed or just chilling. What I'll do is I'll make sure that I give you a link to the Prismacolor pencils and then give you some recommendations. Make sure you ask my advice on like which ones, okay? If you decide to you know, start with a pack or whatever. I want to be able to give you some insight on what I learned, okay? So I'm going to bring in this burnt ochre. Because if we remember, you know, the leaf has different shades of green. It's not just all like, oh, let me color that whole thing in. So I'm just doing little flecks. It's kind of like, you know, oh my goodness, like when we read the romance novels and they describe the man and they say, oh, he had flecks of gold going through his brown hair, you know. Well, we want the flecks of the veins and things, bringing that leaf to life, you know, bringing that into all its own. This is Pear Green. I'm loving it. What I'm doing with this Pear Green is I'm going in the little crevices that have maybe been overlooked. I'm just filling them in ever so slightly. And what's cool about that is that it's not overbearing. It's just giving another little layer of green without it being too much. Oh my goodness sakes. I love it. I love it. Go back over here. So what I want to do is I want to show you an example of, even though this isn't totally done, I want to show you an example of how you can have affirmations within your artwork. So this is the Stillness for the Soul coloring book. We're going to go and find a word. I have some in cursive. Oh, look, with brave wings, I will fly. Okay, guess what? That's got to go on there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. I won't probably glue it on yet, but I want to show you how, like, this is color media in action. Woohoo, I'm so excited. Okay, so. And I have chills because I literally wrote these affirmations for myself, like what I would need to hear personally, and then I shared them with you. Okay, so there's Stillness for the Soul. Okay, so this is a saying, right? With brave wings, I will fly. This is what's cool. After we paint everything, and don't worry, I'll record, and I'll see how I get the other teaching part to you, so that way you can learn more about how I teach. But look at what I can do here, okay? With brave wings. I will fly. Now, I might not put it in the flower. I actually might put it here. I haven't decided yet. That's what's so cool. And you might say, well, Trisha, that's on white paper. You know, that's going to stand out. That looks weird. No, because we're going to actually embellish it and color over it and build it in. But I love, oh my goodness, I'm getting such a happy right now with brave. Oh, I can't wait to show this to my mom. With brave wings, I will fly. Is that cool or what? So I've got to give you the link to the Stones for the Soul book. So that way you have the mixed media pages that you can do. But that's why I have all those affirmations and stuff in the back. So you can mix and blend them on anything. But I just, hello, so excited. Okay. So what I'll do is I've been on for 45 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed part of this session. And what I'll do is I'll do some other as we go. But you can see she's in progress. Got to name her. What should we name her? She's a she, I think. So a little mama bird getting ready to have her babies and help them boost out of the nest. Aw, so excited. All right. Well, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you join on the Barn Quilt Club, friends and family, that will be expiring soon on the friends and family. But if you decide that you are doing it, I will be able to include this one in as a freebie with your April mailing. Okay. Which is awesome. All right. Love y'all. Have a great day. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.